Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages and all over, welcome to the Tyler Bryan Hour, TBH Hour, TBH, whatever you want to call it. I am your co-host, B. Heard, a.k.a. Brian, a.k.a. Prince, a.k.a. Prince Vegeta out the hating, and I will pass it to my co-host. Tyler, what's up? You want to say something to the people?
Hello, people. My name is Tyler, a.k.a. Tyler the Libra, and welcome to another fantastic evening of the TBH podcast.
It won't be if you touch everything.
Yeah, I know.
All these sound effects you're doing. Hopefully that's not picking up in the audio. I am trying to work on the audio, but it might have to do with our location currently. Not to slight Tyler's location at all. It's just it's pretty echoey around here. Yeah, there's not a lot in this area, so that's the only unfortunate thing. So I do apologize for that. Hopefully y'all can lay over and make it work until we either pick up better mics or something. I don't know. It's a process. There is something I did want to get into, and that is kind of like, for those of you who don't know, I looked at the analytics last week. It was a blessing to have the podcast do as well as it did. I think overall, over all three, I didn't check Apple Podcasts, and I don't know if there's a way to check Apple Podcast stats. So if you do know a way for me to check that, please get at your boy. I want to say over all three, though, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud, we had at least 50 plus listens, so that was pretty cool.
Are you serious?
Yeah, for first one back, 50 plus listens. That's pretty dope. So
I appreciate it. Much love.
Appreciate all the love, shares, supports, all that good stuff. But I want to at least hit 100 on Spotify. I think I want to do that, but I want to do that for each week. So that's the goal. So, tell somebody, tell your mama to tell somebody and tell her friends. I work all that shit. But what I was going with that to show the stats and tell the stats was, I feel like people will listen to the podcast because they rock with you. I feel like people will listen to podcasts because they rock with me, but they don't really know us. And, we kind of just two dudes talking if you really don't know us.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much, yeah.
I thought about, what if it took 24 episodes, but what if we go into the origin story? You want to tell them how this kind of started, I guess?
Fuck, I don't even remember.
Do
we honestly remember how we came about making this?
Man, matter of fact, I
think it just came from probably multiple moments in car rides and just being able to talk to each other like for hours and stuff like that about anything,
that was kind of our bag too, because like whether Tyler was going through something or I was going through something, we would just hit one of us up, hit the other person up, and be like, yo, car ride, and we would just sit in the car and just drive all around our city and just talk for hours. Or even sometimes I want to say we probably sat down and just chopped it up by ourselves more than anything, right? I wouldn't say we were just parked. What'd you say? This nigga sending snaps and this. Come on, fam.
Sorry, I have to put my phone on vibrate.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, as far as our conversations go, we talk about stuff that's going on with us, whether it be personal or anything outside of us or family members and stuff like that. And we have real answers sometimes for our questions that we ask each other, and, we pretty much care for each other enough and love each other enough, no homo, to...
to piggyback off what he's saying, he has a good point too. It's like, it was pretty much Tyler that shot the idea, because I've always been interested in... I don't know how you don't remember that. So. Well, yeah, I've always been interested in the radio and podcasting game, but I never did anything as far as podcasts. And then I think Tyler just randomly hit me up. He was just like, yo, what if we do a podcast? And I was like...
I can't even remember.
Fuck it.
I can't even remember how the conversation went. We've been doing this since 2015.
Well, I mean, it was definitely like one of those like casual, like, what if we just did it? And I was just like...
did one. Just, shot in the dark.
Well, I know we didn't want to do one. I know we wanted to take over. And like, we could have taken over if we took it more seriously and was consistent. And I mean, it had... That's the hardest part about a podcast, especially when you don't have a definitive spot or a definitive setup. And when you're starting out, it's like a lot of people don't take you serious. So like we just never had the right moment in time. Like we had people where we could have guests, but it was like, okay, well, how do we get these guests there? And then it was like, well, how do we get these guests there? How do we have a definitive spot for these guests? And how do we make the podcast work? Because everybody's schedule had to work together. And I don't think you were driving at the time, were you? I think maybe towards like the later podcast, but I don't think you were at the very beginning.
Yeah, I didn't really have a car. So.
I remember Weston holding it down. Like we used his house, I want to say a few times for a few of our podcasts.
Yeah,
at least a good 1/4 or 1/5 now, technically, since we're almost at 25.
Yeah, good looking for Weston though.
Yeah, shout out to Weston one time. Yeah, he held it down. What else? I was gonna go into our origin story, and like we kind of touched on the podcast. Do you even remember how we became friends? I think it's because our dads were just cool with each other in preschool. And
listen.
Really?
For those that don't know, me and Brian actually didn't go to like a preschool. We went to like a church preschool.
Same difference.
I was like right up the street, Highland. I think it was like Highland Park Christian.
Hey, yo, don't
or something like that.
Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not trying to get robbed. Niggas can't pinpoint my location.
I mean, it's a church, but
so this is not my house
anyway. But yeah, and I think it was because my pops, God rest his soul, he was a really social human being.
Yeah,
sober or not, he'll be able to, pretty much talk to anybody, have a conversation with anybody.
And I feel like there was I think there was one more. I think there was obviously like a few black girls in that preschool that I remember off the top of my head. I'm like literally just going back, like I'm untapped memory that I haven't touched in like 20 years. But I think there was like two. I think there was another black kid, but I don't remember that black kid having a black dad. So I think that your dad and my dad just did the universal black thing where they see another nigga like, oh, what's up?
Like, hey, what's up?
Head nod and start talking. And then
be like right at the end of the day when it's time to pick us up.
Because I think, because I want to say, I don't want to say the name, but I think...
Because my pops would just be standing there, like, right when it's time to pick...
Pretty much. Because, like, I swear to God... And it was funny, too, because, like, we kind of not really live in opposite directions. But, like, even when we wasn't cool at, like, elementary, but, like, we wasn't cool, like, where we're cool now. Right. But we was cool enough to where, like, I would be walking left, you would be walking right with your dad, and my dad would see your dad, give him the head nod and keep it pushing. Right. Like, I feel like... Yeah, because I think you were cool with someone else, and I will say the name after, but I'm not going to say it on the podcast.
No, I don't even remember the names.
It started with an N. And I think y'all were cool, and then, like, I was, like, in that circle, but not really. So, like, we were all cool and cordial, but we weren't really best friends. Like,
it was cordial, like, every time we saw each other, it was just a dap, and then kept it moving.
Yeah, I honestly want to say we didn't really get cool, like, to this point, till middle school. Because it was always just like, oh, that's Tyler. Yeah, that ain't cool, but we don't really kick it like that. Or vice versa. Like, right? I would say so.
Right.
And we just end up getting cool in middle school. I think it's because we walked the same way. And then you put me on the skating. And then, I kind of became a rebel, do what you did. Remember, you had like thousands of fucking skate CDs and videos on in your room, and you would just have them bitches on for hours on end, and we just watch them.
We were like studying the shit almost.
We became skaters. Like, I remember your mom buying me my first, technically my second skateboard, but my first official.
It was like somewhere skateboard. Like around our birthdays, because we shared the same month birthdays, so.
That's true.
I think she just kind of put our birthday presents together.
I don't know, because I feel like, I thought it was like more towards summer.
It might have been.
Because we were like, once we got those boards, I want to say we was with old boy Zach, and then we just kind of went everywhere and skated everywhere, downtown, like east side.
It was over once he got the car too, so just so you know.
And I think even if we going down memory lane and origin stories it up, there was a point in time where Tyler just switched, and that switch was so crazy because like I remember I just pulled up and I'm just like, yo, what's up? This man got like NCAA, I think 13 or 14 playing, and he's talking about Nebraska football. I'm just like, nigga, what? You like football all of a sudden? It's the dopest thing in the world to me because obviously I grew up and I was, collegiate athlete, so like all I know was football. So to see like I had best friends in football, but it's like you put them in a category. So to see my actual best friend play football and do the same thing when we was like throwing and running and all that shit,
right.
That was like a dope ass moment. It was weird, and then everybody bitched at me at like school, which I was ready to fight everybody because I'm like, oh, how you gonna change Tyler? Nigga, I ain't changed Tyler. Tyler did it himself. It caught me off guard. Shoot, is there any fond memories you have of just us and just random shenanigans we would get into?
Dude, like when I say that, like we literally ran through all of Highland Park pretty much as far as where we went, as far as like who we hung out with and stuff like that. And I think back to it now, it's crazy how much places we've been then and now we don't even be like, bro, that's like like we don't even like think about those places as far as like going there or visiting certain people there.
You know what's crazy to me is like our freshman year, we were some walking motherfuckers. Like,
yeah, because neither of us had cars.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying like from the places we would used to walk to was kind of insane. Like, it would be 2 or 3 miles.
From the north side across the bridge to fucking...
Like, it would be 2 or 3 miles, and then somebody would be like, oh, let's kick it. And then me and Tyler would be like, all right, we'll be there. They'd be like, how y'all gonna kick it? Don't worry about it. We'll be there in about an hour and a half. We didn't even like think about it. Because you had the orange and black phone, but I'm trying to think if I had I guess I did have a phone because I remember playing AAU with a Razor.
Bro, you had the Razor. I wanted that.
Okay, yeah. I was at first. I'm like, how do we even get a hold of people? I just felt like we just walked everywhere.
I had like my phone was like. It was like a sidekick joint, like where like it flipped up.
Okay, so that orange and black one was your second phone.
Yeah,
because you had that freshman year.
That shit was crazy because as soon as I pulled it out, remember it was like a pep assembly. It was right next to me too.
I remember like so. It's our freshman year.
It literally got taken away.
I think
within 30 seconds of me having it out.
I had to be. I want to say. Football, like fall prep rally.
It was like 09.
Well, I know. No, I remember the year. I'm just saying. I think because I remember we was all up top. Like they had it as a pecking order where freshmen would sit the highest and seniors would sit on the bottom. And I remember sitting. I was behind Tyler, but caddy corner, so I was in an angle. And brother man pulled out his phone, and I think the teacher said thank you, and just ripped it out. And I think it was a Friday too. And the Friday, you didn't get that shit back till Monday, huh?
I literally had to pick that shit up with my pops, walk through the halls, upstairs, through the freshman academy. We had an academy, like they called our shit, like our entire hallway was called a freshman academy. But I had to walk through that shit with my pops, and you know that walk that you do like with your parents through school where you be up front and they be like 5 feet behind you, just
you don't want to be embarrassed type shit.
Like who's this random dude just following me? But, yeah,
that freshman academy. See that like in a way,
I got that phone back Monday, and the whole day. My dad was pissed.
The freshman academy was dope in a way of like.
No, it wasn't. Because
hold on. Let me cook. If zeros weren't permitted, like that's what we needed. Because a lot of motherfuckers went left after that freshman shit. Motherfuckers didn't stop caring. Motherfuckers stopped going. Because like I don't know if you know this, we had 800 in our freshman class. There was 800 students in our freshman. Or no, actually, excuse me, I misspoke. There was 500 students, but like 2-something dropped because remember we only had like 212 in our senior class. Like,
right. And that's the crazy part too.
Mm-hmm. What else was I gonna say? Oh, I actually remember you lost that phone on the walk back from high school. And then you randomly found that motherfucker?
Yeah, I lost that phone, and I don't know how I lost it. It must have fell in my pocket while I was running or some shit. And but it fell, and then probably a day later.
No, it was a few days. Like, it was a noticeable amount to where one, your phone shouldn't have been there. Two, your phone should have still been working. And the fact that you found it and it worked fine was the craziest.
And what's crazy is that I didn't even find it. Brent found it.
I didn't even know that.
I literally walked past it, and Brent was like, "Hey Tyler, is this your phone?" He picked it up. I was like, "No shit, no fucking way."
Funny.
And it was still working. That's the sweet thing about it.
I remember.
Crazy thing about it. I had all my contacts in there, everything.
Bro, relax. You know what's funny too about that freshman hallway? Just to tell a brief story. It was me and then two other delinquents.
Delinquents?
Because I'm not gonna name their names, but these two troublemakers, they were like, "Yo, be heard. There's this restaurant that's across the street." And it's a little mom and pop restaurant, fast food joint, food fire, especially as a freshman. They have freshman deals. It was a good place, right? And essentially, come on, man, right in the mic. But essentially, you couldn't go there as a freshman because you're not allowed to leave. So they were like, "Yo, be heard. We got you. We buying you food. Just come through." So, me, I am not a delinquent, but the Kendrick, I wasn't. The Kendrick Lamar song was
I see.
Bro, what, how am I not?
I can tell a story right now that says different.
Okay, hold on, keep that story in mind.
I was about to say.
Keep that story in mind. Let me just finish this one. So, I'm not delinquent, but shit, when I'm with the homies, I'm with the homies. So I'm like, they getting me free food, and it's good, say less. So we go, we walk, we get there, we're eating lunch. And we got our lunch. We didn't even get our lunch yet. We were just doing the thing where you just wait for your number to be called, things of that nature. So I'm waiting, and next thing I know, we get our food. I think we all sit down, unwrapping the burger and the fries and all that, the drink. Unwrapping it before we even get in. Teacher comes, opens the door, don't even get food, don't order food, don't do nothing like that. He literally just opens the door. "Oh, I'm snitching." And then walks out.
He literally looked at everybody that was in the store and was like, "Oh, yep, you guys, yep."
And he was just like, "I'm snitching." And it was just me and the other two homies who was just damn. And mind you, at this point in time, it's freshman year. It's
everybody was stuck.
It was so it was it was me and the two other homies, and everybody at this time was just "Damn, bro, this is my first." I'm just freaking out because it's I'm a freshman. It's sophomore or spring season. And I'm "Damn, bro, I ain't been in trouble yet." Da 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 da. I'm freaking out. I ate the burger and all that. It was still a good meal. Came back on time. Did my classes.
Last supper.
And then but listen, the next day, you know what I'm saying? I see they had these things where they had these red folders that you had to carry around when you was in trouble and you was isolated or whatever. And with these red folders, they got them, the two homies I was with got them that exact next day. But I didn't get one. So I was confused. I'm just "Hey, yo, this man Tyler spilled some, so if you hear that. But I'm damn, nigga, you gotta hit it with this nigga.
The Swiffer Wet Jet does wonders. I highly recommend
shut the fuck. We ain't sponsored by them niggas. They ain't cutting us a check. You saying no? Nah, this is a generic ass Swifter ass type. They ain't cutting us a check. They ain't getting no money.
It's the T-Jet.
There you go. Anyway, yeah, they got a red report card or a red folder that they had and had to be escorted by teachers. It was this whole ordeal and whole situation where they got in trouble. I didn't get one. I didn't get one for a while. It was 2 or 3 months down the line that I was good. So randomly, we got a month and a half left of school year, and then Brian to the principal or was it a principal's office? Was he a principal or freshman? I don't know what you really call him. But they called.
I don't know, dude. He was an administrator.
Yeah, I guess for a better term, administrator. They called him and they was like, yo, you gotta come to this office. So I'm like, okay, I don't know why I got to go to his office. I ain't do nothing. So I'm running in, you know what I mean? I'm running in, going to the office. Sure enough, they're like, hey, yo, you remember that time you went to lunch with such and such? I was like, yeah, 3 months ago? It was like, yeah, you were in trouble for that. I'm like, nigga, why?
It was like an OJ trial.
I was like, God, y'all are tripping for this. And sure enough, they got my black ass. Like,
as soon as you forget, it was like, hey, come here, bro.
I had that whole card for like a week, bro. That shit was tragic. Now, what are you talking about since you spilling shit and disrupting the podcast? What you talking about? I was delinquent, bro. You got a story? I'd love to hear this. Are you ready now? You ready to pod? I apologize if you heard the all that, whatever.
I was trying to clean up something. Sorry, people. But, yeah, this man stole my mom's car.
Whoa. Wow.
Right wow. When he started driving. When I say that this man came over, he walked over, first of all. And I was like, bro, hey, I got the license. Let's go. Let's find a car.
Wow. So that's how I'm going to tell the story? That's how I'm going to tell the story?
And I was like, okay, cool. And then I just thought about it. We were like, fuck, let's go to the mall. And then you were like, well, what car? And I was like, well...
Oh, so now you're telling the truth of the story. Okay. All right, so boom.
I didn't tell you to take the car, goddamn it.
Check it out. Since Tyler gonna lie about the story, right? This is what I got to say about the story, right? I'll tell you verbatim. Tyler says, I guess he's been talking to his mom. And his mom says, as soon as you get your license or you get your permit, you can drive the car. So Tyler's like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? I failed the permit test a few times. I don't do so well. Finally get it. Tell Tyler, he like, yo, come through. It's lit. I'm like, it's cool. So I go to Tyler's crib. Tyler lives like 2 blocks away from me. I get in the crib. I go into his room. I'm chilling in his room. He tells his mom, hey, yo, mom, Brian got his license. We finna take the whip. And she's like, haha, sure. She says this jokingly, by the way. I didn't know that at the time.
I didn't think it was a joke. I just took it as, all right, you told us.
This is why I didn't know this at the time. So we're going. He comes in the room, hands me the keys. I'm like, oh, where? She said so. She's like, yeah, bro, you said so. So I get the keys. I drive to a mall that's probably like 4 miles away from us. It's not too far.
Merle Hay, by the way.
Nigga, stop giving up the location.
It's Merle fucking Hay. Like,
bro, stop. They gonna track us down and rob us, bro. They gonna be like, get me on the pot. And you giving up too much information. Anyway, we go to the mall and we park. Successful job driving. I'm a good driver. I've always felt like I was a natural driver. I mean, I'm not the world's great. No, you be hitting curbs. So I don't care.
I still curb check to this day.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
shit, at least I know it's there. Fuck.
Nah, I mean, I'm a good driver. Anyway, so fuck what he talking about. I'm a good driver. And so park, successful job of driving, get in the car. We walk into the mall. I want to say we get to the like main hallway of the mall. We run into 2 homies that we ain't seen in a while because they go to the opposite school. They're like, oh, what up, Brian? What up, Tyler? They're like, oh, what up? Dap them up, chopping it up. What y'all here for? And there used to be a sports store that had this deal for shirts. It was like college t-shirts because we was obsessed with football.
It was like 2 for like 30.
Yeah, 2 for 30, 2 for 40. Deal. Yeah, it was a lot of good shirts too. So, you know, we're saying he get a shirt, I get a shirt. That's how brothers work, right? So I'm chopping it up with them. Tyler get a phone call. And I'm like, okay, like whatever. So I'm just talking, laughing, cracking jokes because I ain't seen these homies in a while, and they my homies. And they homies with Tyler too. And then Tyler taps me on the shoulder. He's like, yo, bro, we gotta go. He's like, we gotta go. I'm like, nigga, we just got here. We'll go get the shirts and then we'll leave. He's like, nah, nigga, we got to go. I'm like, why do you keep saying it like this? What? He's like, nigga, my mom called. She said this car ain't home in 5 minutes. She's calling the cops. I was like, oh shit.
When I say that we darted out of the mall, so
when I tell you we dapped them niggas up, I'm talking. It was the smoothest casual dap, and then we just booked it and just started hitting the burners.
Like we heard the worst news.
And the funny thing is, like, you know how that expression, like, you'll see a black person run and then, like, somebody else will start running, or they'll panic. Same thing applies. The cop saw us running, and he was like, nigga, why are they running? So he just started chasing us after. We took off. We went in there, got in the car, started that shit, some Need for Speed shit, Tokyo Drift type vibes. I ended up pulling, there was an Applebee's, excuse me. There's an Applebee's in that same parking lot that the mall's in. So I ended up pulling into the Applebee's by mistake. And the time was like, you fucking up. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm making me nervous. So I pull out and then I drive and I'm taking the back way. I'm flowing. I'm going like 30 or 40. And funny thing is, I don't have my license. I have a permit. I'm not in the car that's mine. And I have my best friend on the passenger side, which he doesn't have no ID, no license, no nothing like that. And I'm going 30 or 40. The funniest thing about that story is I was actually texting someone on the basketball team. He was just like social worker where he worked with delinquent kids, and he used to help the basketball team. And like he's literally one of my biggest role models. Helped me out through a lot, and I helped to like mow his lawn type shit, like father figure essentially. And so I text him, but I text him like how you already know you broke some shit or you stole some shit, and like you in trouble. So I'm like, yo, and he's like, yo, what's up, Brian? I'm just like, so scenario for you. Say if you were to steal a car and like you brought it back, but nothing else happened to the car, but you just kind of took it for a joyride. Could you get in trouble? Could you go to juvie for that? Like jail? He's like, I don't know. It just depends on the situation. He's like telling me these things. And I'm like, so I should be okay, right? He's like, why? What did you do? I was like, I ain't do nothing, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just saying.
You were like, it got to a point where we were driving and you would literally concentrate on driving, and we were scared so much that you would pass the phone to me and say, here, reply back to him.
I was like, oh yeah, I was like, say this.
I say this.
And then like, so he pretty much tells me like, unless you're caught and you did something wild, you wouldn't get in trouble, but you'll definitely get in trouble. So I'm like, okay, all right. And I think I parked the car in front of the house, and like, I think I immediately had Tyler's keys. We both walk in the house. I'm scared to death. I think Tyler comes in, he's like, Mom, I'm sorry. She's like, what the fuck?
She started cussing both of us out.
She was going, no. She was cussing us out, but she was like really yelling at you. And she's like, I don't even blame Brian. You influenced him. I was like, yeah. I was like, wait, huh? I was like, yo, I'm the one that drove though. I was like, yo, fuck it.
She was like, he didn't know any better, but you did.
I was just like,
yeah, cool. I mean,
I think I dapped this nigga up. I ain't seen him for 2 weeks.
She was right.
I'm so lucky she didn't tell my mom. Like, I got away with that scot-free. I think I ended up having a good ass day after that. I think I was like watching cartoons or some shit.
Man, I was over. I was done for like a good 2 weeks. Everybody on MySpace was like, free Tyler.
I think we did have that hashtag going for a little bit. That shit was funny. Actually, another funny story, and I don't mean to like go ripe on Tyler's fame, but this is the OG stories. This is for you to know who we are as individuals. Do you remember when you see him punch your window? You want to tell the story?
Oh man, that was an interesting night.
I just wish I could have saw Pop's reaction. You want to go about it? You want to tell the story, or?
Well, I'll go about it. First of all, I was drinking, and then like second of all,
damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was a little bit buzzed when that situation occurred.
We were in high school, nigga, like early high school.
Man.
Oh, get your shit off then.
Well, anyway, yeah, that happened, and I was so gone. I was practicing wrestling moves on a pillow. And like the turnbuckle was the couch.
And you know, if you're a wrestling fan, you know how CM Punk does a running knee and he like grabs you after he hits it. But
right, yeah, I did that, and my entire knee missed the top of the couch. And by missed, I mean I heard a big ass bash in the front door window, and I immediately stopped, and my whole heart started racing.
This nigga texted. So I'll tell you from my perspective. I heard that story, but that's all I know. This nigga texted me like, he wasn't. He texted me like he wasn't Tyler texting me. Like he texted me like this nigga already died, and like I figuring out this information for the first time. This nigga's like yo, bro, don't hit my phone. Don't come over for about good 2 or 3 weeks. Nigga, I'm in trouble. I'm like, damn, what happened? He's like, yo, I see him bumped my couch and missed and broke the window.
Broke the front window.
Nigga, when I tell you I came in the house after you got in trouble.
Crazy. You know the crazy
your
part
pops was on the couch and this shit had a big ass breeze. This nigga was cold.
Bro, the thing about it is that I left. Like when I get in trouble, I leave notes. To know, like, it'd be the same shit. Like, if I break a remote controller, sorry, pops, leave a note, leave for a while, walk around the block, go to Brian's house, whatever the deal was. I just know I need to be out of that area. But
you know, if I was your dad, I would beat your ass twice just for the note. Like that shit would irritate me.
I'd leave the note on top of the refrigerator.
Nigga said we'll leave it on the refrigerator like it was a to-do list. Alright. Grab groceries, pay bills. I broke the couch window. Nigga,
wait, what?
What did your
was
pop
so
do?
bad.
Bro? Like, what was
And the
his
fact
first
that my
reaction?
mom was at work every night, and so he had to deal with the shit.
What was his reaction?
I actually do not remember the reaction. But
I think
from my perspective, me getting yelled at my whole childhood and teenage life, it was a lot calmer than I thought. They were like, well, fuck, I guess we're just gonna have to get a new window then. I just got yelled at and then, fuck, I need to get a new window now. So like literally 2 days went past before we got a window. And mind you, it was like around this time, like November, December. So it was like 30 degrees in the house for like 2 days before they went and got a new window.
You know, I can't really remember like a story like that, but I
don't even remember my mom being mad. Matter of fact, she was just like, you know, like you know how one parent has to like co-sign everything else that the parent does. She was just like, just looking at me. So yeah,
that was literally my mom and my dad. And the worst part is like the way Tyler's house is designed. This is all like relatively on one floor, so like it's kind of awkward if like you're in trouble, nigga. You want to talk about awkwardness? Like the way that my house is designed. Actually, let me go on a tangent real quick. The way my house is designed, 2 ways. If I'm in trouble, I'm screwed, and for me not to get cheeks. Because, like, my mom is my next door neighbor. My mom is my next door neighbor, and then my dad's downstairs. So I can't even sneak nobody in unless somebody could just jump to the second floor and get in through the window. So whenever I get in trouble or grounded, like, my shower's downstairs, the refrigerator's downstairs, and this nigga just stomped for no reason. Like, my dad really be on some FIFA phone type shit. Like, it just stomped the whole house. So I feel like he's coming every time.
He gotta let you know he's there.
And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to eat. I'm just trying to eat and shower. Like, can you stop being mad for like 30, 40 minutes?
The 2 things that you gotta live for. You can't do both.
Bro, and he be mad. And like, what's funny is like, my mom, when she was like healthier, she's still alive too, but she's just, you know, age and stuff like that, and then cancer. So when she was healthier, I remember I think I was home early, and it was like high school, and she was like, "Yo, make sure you take out the chicken or the freezer or whatever." And I think she said I'm gonna be home around 12:30. I'm like, all right, cool. She gonna cook. She usually cooks like, cause like my dad usually gets home like 7 or 8, so she usually cooks, you know, for me and her, and then she'll, you know, have the meal ready for my dad in the fridge. So when I tell you, my nigga, that I forgot to take out the chicken.
Oh, you fucked.
And it was like 1 o'clock. And I heard that, like, my mom was always playing music and blasting music. So I heard the music. I was like, oh, shit. Ran down the stairs, managed to grab the kitchen, throw the bitch in the
Like it was a reaction.
throw the bitch in the sink, and then I ran upstairs. I don't know why she took so long to get out the car and unlock the door and all that shit this day, but luckily she did. My nigga, when I tell you, she came in. I must have went in the kitchen and just did something, and was just like, Brian, come down here. So I came down here, and you know how you gotta make the like you ain't eat ass face, so you just, what's up? Like you just stupid. And she's just like,
what's up?
Touching the chicken, like this is still cold. There's no way when I texted you at 9 o'clock and you responded that this should be this cold. Like this is frozen solid. As if it didn't sit in the sink. And I'm like, I don't know, Mom. You might have to like thaw it out. I don't know what you want me. She said, all right, well, fuck it. You can eat when your dad eat, because I got this other piece. She had another chicken like laying in the other kitchen, but like the way it was set was like I couldn't see it. Like almost as she knew I was gonna do this dumb shit, but I still had to wait to eat. I was just like, God, you're so petty. And yeah. That's pretty much our origin story and just who we are as people. So hopefully you rock with us. I want to talk about a different topic: mental health. How is your mental health? Because you've been drinking, Tyler. Is you good, Tyler? Like, are you? Yeah, because I don't know. I'll give you all visual detail with audio. This nigga got a Jack Daniels. This nigga got what?
I got the Jack. I got the Jim. Pretty much the Jose. Anything that starts with a J over here is in my possession as we speak. And I also, just for my own health, I got a bottle of water.
You're saying that like the water is bouncing out. That's what you're saying.
And me, shit, I'm good, baby.
How are you really feeling? Like, get into your mental.
I mean, as far as this goes, if you know me, as long as you know me, if you know that I drink a lot and I dabble a lot anyway, so, I mean, that's just going to be in the repertoire.
I mean, I'm not saying you don't drink, but I'm saying you're more of a sipper. This is like, you want some future shit. This is at the codeine. Like, we got 3 bottles open right now. Like, that's crazy.
And all of them about like a quarter of the way there too. That's the crazy thing.
Another thing is like this fool texted me to bring the Jack. Like he had the other 2 by himself. And then I come and I bring the Jack. I'm just like, hey, yo, like, but how? So you say mentally you're fine. Everything's okay.
Spiritually, I'm fine. Mentally, I'm getting there. Physically, I'm alright.
Is there anything in the universe that's bothering you right now? Outside of the normal bullshit we have to deal with as black men?
Outside of the normal bullshit that we have to deal with. Anything in the universe that's bothering me right now, pretty much not much. Considering that, like, I'm the type of person that usually stays, like, out of the way and just kind of focuses on me and whatever's going on in my life. And
mind you, you're trying to do that now. You're trying to get your Be Heard bag off. I see you, Pippin. Game recognized game, but...
Yeah. But, I mean, fuck, it's hard once... It's hard to get into a mindset of, things have to be... You have to look at things in a positive manner as opposed to, just being fucking sad or mad or indifferent every day,
Is it weird to not, like, me personally, I feel like I don't really feel like anything right now. I just kind of, as dumb and cliche as that sounds, and like, if you were to say, if like someone were to ask you how your day was, like, and if I say I'm neutral or I'm okay, like, it's not the answer you're looking for, but you don't obviously want to say I'm depressed, I want to kill myself. So it's like, because you're just asking someone how the day is. But that's how I really feel. Like, to put it in perspective, I don't know if you ever seen those like hydro tanks, I want to say. It's like those little body of waters that you get in, and it's like, it's almost like a washing machine in a way. Like you get in and you close it, and you're just sitting in water, and it's like, it's almost a way to like, it's like escape from the world, and you just like sit in the tank and you just relax. that's kind of how I feel, but I feel in a scarier anxiety way. Like, I feel like I'm floating and I'm doing just fine and I'm above the water, but any second point I could drown and I'm closed off, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, it absolutely does. I mean, once you get to a part of like, fuck, nothing's working, everything seems to be going in, you know, a downward spiral, and it just seems like you can't catch a break. It's almost gets to a point where it gets past comical and it just gets to like, fuck, what's the worst, what else can happen, you know, and stuff like that. And you know, for me being that way for so many years, it's almost imperative for me to be able to change as I get older and be able to, you know, think in a certain way nowadays.
I think
That's positive, not just neutral or negative. And this is the first time in probably about 5 years to where like I feel like I have the best opportunity to be happy for myself again. You know?
That's good. I mean, I've always felt like a person that's like self-aware, and right now I'm not depressed, but I'm just kind of stuck. Like so if you look at it from like, I would say the podcast to recording to editing videos to chilling with the homies in Discord, like there's a few things, I mean, obviously outside of my friends and family, that I love doing, and I truly cherish, and I'm thankful every day I get to do stuff like that and be entertaining and like be a voice of reasoning for people. But that's only like 10 or 20 hours out the week. There's like most of the time I'm pretty fucking miserable. Like I have to make sure that like the right food goes to the right people, and it's like I feel like, call it conceited, call it crazy, that I just think that I just personally think that God put this vision of the way I see things through my eyes for a reason. Like I have to be able to tell a story that I see, you know, like I mentally, I feel like the only thing I do is make sure you get the right food in life, that I fucking failed this life. And that's a lot of pressure to put on myself, especially only 26. Like I haven't even lived enough life yet. Like I haven't even hit my 30s. And I think that's technically definition of a midlife crisis. So I really just need to kind of figure it out, because it's like I know the people I met and the people I rock with, it's cool, but I need people. So like I know that I want to do something, so I have to figure it out, because it's like I'm torn between like doing what's best for, you know, basic necessities as a human being, and like having my own place, having my own car, paying my bills and things of that nature, and torn between picking a passion, because a lot of people that pick the passion and pick the goal, that's the only thing they did. And I feel like I stretch myself so thin that it's kind of fucking with me. But I like a lot of different shit. Like I like editing, I like doing Photoshop, I like shooting a podcast, being in front of the camera, being behind the camera. Like there's so many things I like that it's just like it's hard to balance it all. And it's hard to balance it all when you're doing something you just don't care for. And like I said, that's only like 10 hours of my time that I'm actually doing it. So the rest of the time I'm just pretty much wasting away. I think I need to find a better schedule, because I personally don't like working in the middle of the day. It's nice because it's like you don't have that pressure of like I have to wake up to an alarm clock, but I can also go up to sleep real late when I want to. But I just hate it because I'm like real lethargic. Like if I don't get up super early.
Are you an insomnia?
What do you mean by that?
Like, do you stay up like at like really, really late periods of the night? Because for me, I'm an insomniac.
Post-COVID, pre-COVID, no. But I would say post, maybe, because like it's rare I don't fall asleep at around 3 o'clock. Like even 2 o'clock. Like it's rare that I don't fall asleep around those times. If I fall asleep anywhere earlier than that, that's like a bonus for me.
I don't know, because I mean, just for example, this week, I was surprised if I fell asleep, if I was in bed and fell asleep at like 12. You know?
It's definitely been a while.
And then I'd be mad as hell because I felt like I didn't get enough sleep and like it went by fast.
When's the last time Hey, to go. I mean, this mental health conversation sounds like it's just all over the place, but that is, I mean, essentially that's what mental health is. To go somewhere real quick with this conversation, real quick, like, when's the last time you had a good night of sleep?
Shit.
Because I feel like, for me personally, it's been a while. It's been a while to where I went to bed at a decent time, woke up at a decent time, and felt not like refreshed, but I didn't feel tired.
Fuck, it had to have been a couple years because I go to sleep thinking about something. You know? Mm-hmm. And as soon as, like, that thought just keeps racing and straining my brain, then, like, I start to fall asleep. And that's how I fall asleep most of the time every single night, is that, like, I keep thinking about something within the week, within, like, my personal life or anything of the sort, and then, like, I just fall asleep.
Because I think, like, now, it's weird. Because, like, now I notice that my body clock, I always get tired around 3-ish, like, probably right around the time I get to work usually. I notice I get tired around 3-ish, and then once I get tired around 3-ish, I'll be wanting to take a nap. But I don't end up taking said nap sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I notice that I take more naps than I do actually get a long-term sleep. And I feel like that's fucking up my sleep schedule. So maybe if you're a sleep expert, and because I need energy. I feel like I never have enough energy. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get more energy. Another thing I wanted to mention and talk about is, when's the last time someone's gave you praise or tell you that they appreciate you, thank you, or you matter, or anything like that, like told you personally as an individual, and not on some like you said it first in a conversation or you pretty much gave the helpful cry. I'm just talking about out of the blue, like, you matter, thank you for being you, good job. Like, nigga, when's the last time you got a good job, my nigga?
Literally about probably like a couple months ago.
Was it months? Nigga, I don't remember the last time I did. I feel like I be trying. Like, I feel like.
Well, this is from a significant other, so.
Even then, like, okay, say not from the significant other. Like,
oh, then shit, I can't even remember.
Like, I feel like that's an issue too with my mental health. Like, and it's like, it comes from, like, you know how most people are, like, you shouldn't live off of praise and, like, things of that nature. Like, you don't need no one else's praises, but it's nice. Like, I think a lot of motherfuckers that say that get praised all the time. Like, for little shit, whether it's looks, whether it's what you do, whether it's this, that, and the third. A lot of motherfuckers that get that probably get a lot of love and a lot of hate. So that's probably why they're like, I don't need no one. If you don't get anything at all, and I'm talking about anything, like, if you don't get that at all, like, that shit hits different. And I hate when I have to say it, because then it's like, then they'll do it, and it's like, I just want it off of just what I do and who I am as a person. Because, like I said, like, even my job now, like, I think I'm working 5 days a week, working when I can, doing what I can, and it's still not enough to these niggas. So I'm just like, damn, bro, not enough. And I really be feeling like that. And that's just not just a job, just as a person, just as a podcaster, literally anything, son, friend, all that shit. But it's like, but it goes back to that time thing where I'm like, damn, I don't know how, I feel like I'm wasting my time in a lot of areas to where I can't do what I really want. Because, like, kudos to all the people that made it. Kudos to all the successful podcasters who are fathers, friends, husbands, and all that other shit. Because I don't know how to do that shit. That shit's hard. Now, you said you wanted to talk about hobbies outside of, obviously, creating content and things of that nature. So what hobbies do you have, Tyler?
Oh, my hobbies is definitely fucking, I love record collecting as far as, like, vinyl goes. And, you know, I literally spend an entire weekend. Like, tomorrow I'm probably going down to see the Vinyl Cup new store in Omaha. Shouts out to Vinyl Cup Records.
They not paying us, brother, man.
It doesn't matter. I just
this nigga give it everybody. No, y'all gotta cut the check. Reach the email at princeherd1@gmail.com.
But yeah, I'm going down there for the second time to see, you know, the shop and what they have in their exposal. And, you know, for me, getting into, like, vinyl collecting, that was one of the first shops that I went to, you know, because they have everything that they have a good variety of everything that I like, as far as it goes down from the Stones to the Beatles to.
Also, I just feel like you went up there because you wanted to take a trip too. Like, I think
That is true. I wanted to get out of Iowa. You know, whether it's Nebraska or anywhere close, you know, I still wanted to get out of there. But yeah, from anything of what you like as far as variety of like R&B, classic rock, blues, anything of that sort. They have all sorts of variety, and I took it strong. Still strong to this day. I mean, I don't do too much of it now because bills started coming up, and especially the rent that stole Christmas. Like, it took me.
Man.
It said, "Give me that." Like,
I'm about to go spend some Christmas money right now.
But I still collect any time that I can. So I love doing that. It's the best thing ever. And I also write a little bit now too. Granted, it's in my journal, but to me, it's still writing. Like, I'm still sharing my thoughts and, what I wake up to thinking and what goes on through my mind on a daily basis. And I just write it down for me to see. It's very therapeutic.
I was watching something of like how to get out of rut, which it's funny how, well, actually, I don't think it's funny. I think on some conspiracy theory shit, like shout out to Brent one time for that. But I feel like the way YouTube algorithm is just always recommends a video that's like been on your mind or like whatever you're searching. But literally I found a video about how to get out of rut, and the person in the video was talking about, get a haircut, clean up a little bit, especially if you're not a clean person. Like all the shit that resonated with me that I was like, okay, I could do this. Then he's like, I write 10 pages a day. I was like, I want to write, but I don't really want to put my thoughts and opinions on paper. Like, I guess I'm more used to doing this and doing it in front of a camera. Like, actually, fun fact, on the same MacBook, what I used to do my sophomore year of college, only a few people know this, but I would record myself talking to myself, like with the video and the webcam and all that stuff, and I would just talk about my day or whatever's going on. The same thing as like Tyler writing, but when you see yourself do it and you play it back and you hear yourself do it, it hits different, bro. Like, just imagine even going to like the mirror and saying "I love you" to yourself. Like, I love myself. That. See,
can't do that right now. At this point.
that shit hit different.
That's the hardest thing that you've ever told me to try to do.
Try it. If you never done some shit like that, but it'll open perspectives and doors. And like even the recording thing, try to record yourself, even if it's on your phone. Like, try it. It just hits different. And yeah, I mean, will I write? Maybe we'll see. But only hobbies I got right now is I've been collecting some manga, because I definitely want, like, when I eventually get my own place, like Tyler or something like that, to get like a dresser, if you will, and just put like my mangas on the panels and stuff like that, because I'm a big anime fan. So the best way to support the creators is the mangas. So I think I do want to do that. I know that's really the only thing I really want to collect. Maybe skateboards, if that. Not a lot, but I don't really have too many hobbies. I'm not a hobby guy. I can't really say that this is what I do, because a lot of the hobbies that I do have, technically, I want to turn into careers. And it's so crazy. I was like, most motherfuckers with a hobby that actually called a hobby are some cool people at the hobby.
Right.
Like that. Like, there's some talent. Like, they'll be able to play guitar, piano, anything like that. Now, this is the topic that Tyler said, and I quote, "I could always talk about this." Females. Is there anything in particular you want to talk about the females? Love them, hate them, can't live without them.
We definitely cannot live without women in our life as men, but at the same time, actually, I'm not going to go there. But I mean, as far as females in my life right now, it's non-existent. I would say to speak. I mean, I'm just going with the flow of everything, and trying to take care of me first, honestly, first and foremost, and going from there.
You're kind of spitting, and I think I am going to go to the gym after this So I'm gonna try to be productive and be a decent human being in society.
Try it. It's fun.
But it's hard, bro. Like my phone,
Especially
my phone be drier than a bitch. So it'd be hard not to want to talk to a female or interact with a female.
Especially like in my recent situation. I mean, just try to heal, bro. Just try to do what you can to be the best you. So you can eventually be the best you for somebody
y'all
else.
Not wrong, y'all spitting, but it's like, damn, bro. Like, bro, a cuddle session would hit. I don't even like calling it like that, but like, just not even like on some sexual shit. Just you vibing with another person, just chilling, watching whatever. But no, me, I'd probably fall asleep or whatever, unless it's something I'm really interested in. But that shit would hit different. It really would.
Yeah.
I wonder if I might try to get my shit off. I might hit a female up. Like, hey, can we cuddle as friends? I might try it.
Wait, what?
I might try it.
Like with who?
We already said too much on this podcast. I ain't saying not a name, not a fucking hair color.
Okay, well, it doesn't even matter because I already know who. So
you really don't.
I really do.
Yeah, you don't. But anyway.
Yeah.
Both our sports teams are ass, like our football teams.
Who's
well, I guess
mine's
Giants are in first place.
Mine is on winning streak. I don't know how yours is doing right now.
We got the same record, but y'all in first place because your division's ass. Like, that's crazy.
Y'all ran out of quarterbacks. That's all I know. Like,
so for those of you who do not know, I am a Denver Broncos fan. My nigga, I didn't even get the ESPN notification. I ended up getting the Twitter notification of like this breaking news that the Broncos have no quarterbacks this week.
None.
It was Saturday. I'm like, huh?
It's like one of those things that can only happen in Madden games where like you gotta start the kicker.
Like my nigga, and shout out to him because he played quarterback in college, and you know it kind of gave you that illusion and that that realness factor to it, because you know how they always say like they're always trying to move like a black athletic player to a quarterback. It's like, nah, he can play quarterback. Maybe sometimes the scouts be right though. Like sometimes it's like, nah, you not built for it. Because this nigga, shout out to him. I think his name's Hilton. I didn't watch the game, but he
come for your guys' practice squad, right?
Yeah, he was a practice squad wide receiver, and he came in. The fact that he was able to turn around from Saturday to Sunday and play, like, no slander in that regard, but he went 1 for 9. So I was like, okay, he's clearly not an NFL quarterback. But how cool would it have been if this nigga went like 20 or 30, had decent stats, won the game, all that stuff. Like, he could have made almost like...
Y'all would have been trading Drew Lock.
I don't know about that, but he would have made like almost like a Madden 2022 like NFL storyline. Like that would have been an easy, you know what I'm saying, whatever the Madden mode is, because that shit's trash. Face of the franchise, that would have been an easy pickup story thing. He would have been able to done it, but unfortunately he wasn't. My team's ass, but the Giants are somehow good. I swear to God, if the Giants make the playoffs, bro, wow, that would be ridiculous, especially after losing Saquon. Daniel Jones, I think, is hurt this week.
I think he's playing this week, actually, because they said the hamstring was, like, not severe.
Who do you play then?
I don't know.
Like, because y'all going to need him then if y'all play somebody good. But I guess that's a good thing. So I'll be tight on the podcast if the Giants make the playoffs, and we don't, and especially the 7 teams too. So I guess they can't make it by wild card.
Yeah, we losing. We play the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, y'all finna get tapped. Daniel Jones might as well be hurt, bro. Ain't like I'll catch a dub. Lastly, any new music or anything you listened to recently? Anything you want to talk about, discuss musically?
Like I said last week earlier, I was just in a Rolling Stones kind of mood. So I actually downloaded their album from like 1972 or something like that, and like I've just been playing that all day. I haven't even been listening to shit else. Like I said, like when this next year comes, I'm gonna get back into my rap and start listening more, catching up on my rap music a little bit more.
I didn't really listen to anything new per se. I just been listening to a lot of playlists. So if you got a Spotify playlist, get out your boy. Definitely hit me up and let me know. because I'm trying to find. It's so weird, like creating playlists. Like I can't think of the songs, but every time I listen to the song, I can think of it, and like, y'all know how that goes. Like I'm just trying to get my Spotify listens up. I thought my number would be a lot higher, but it's weird how time is measured. Because technically, I've only listened to 25,000 minutes.
Caleb just asked when is he going to be featured. Shouts out to Caleb right now.
Yeah, ain't that nigga in Oklahoma or some shit?
Yeah, somewhere. He's traveling the world right now. He's traveling the entire United States.
Look at darkness on this. Just gotta hook it up. Yeah, so send me your Spotify playlist. If you're a graphic designer, get at me because I do want merch for the podcast. Because currently I'm rocking my own merch right now. You could get at teespring.com/beheard-merch. You feel me? All proceeds go to your boy, helping United Negro Foundation, which is me, and so I can pay these bills. I got the gold.
Oh, you owe me money.
Nigga, no. How owe you money? I got the golden standard on currently with the gold edition of my logo with the red. It's clean. I definitely had strings on this bitch, but the strings disappeared in the fucking laundry.
You need to figure out the string situation because I'm missing a string and it's in that dryer right now as we speak.
I believe it. What else was I gonna say about the merch? I had something else.
You need to pair up with Carhartt or something.
I mean, shit. Get at me. Anything else you want to say to the people before we close up the show?
Huh?
Is there anything else you want to say to the people before we close out the show?
Do not, please, I beg of you, do not drink Jack Daniels Tennessee Apple.
What? You a lie.
Do not do that. Because you brought this over, right?
Right. You
brought this over. I've been sipping on this for like an hour straight. And when I tell you that it is very subpar, I mean, it's still drinkable because, I'm a drinker. And, but,
I mean, you also drinking it straight, bro. I brought them out.
Yeah, I drink everything. If you drink Jack, you got to drink it straight. You can't.
That's not regular Jack, though.
But it's Jack Daniels. See, look at the bottle. This says Jack Daniels, the shape,
with the
texture.
It has a green logo on it.
The prestige on it.
Nigga, shut up. So corny. Saying that shit. But nigga, with the Mountain Dew, it tastes like a green Jolly Rancher. That shit was fine.
Bro, you mix Mountain Dew with Jack Daniels.
It was good. It's not regular Jack Daniels. It's Jack Daniels apples. I think you need to say that so they don't think that I'm just mixing hardcore whiskey with bullshit. Like,
no, that's what I do.
Yes, nigga. First of all, you got all three of these bottles open and you ain't finished one. So, like, of course you're going to think it's so out. So, of course you're going to think it's so hard if you got taquitos and Doritos and all that shit flavors in your mouth.
This is Jose Cuervo. This is
saying you got all these flavors in your mouth. No wonder why you can't tell which is which. And you think that's subpar?
You know how I can tell which is which?
How?
Because I'm drinking it.
This nigga here. Anyway, last things I want to say on the podcast before we close it out.
I love you guys, by the way, and we appreciate you guys for listening as much as you do to, our wild rhetoric sometimes.
Did you get your shit off? Is there anything else you want to say before you really interrupt me?
What?
Is there anything else you want to say? Why you making all this fucking noise in the podcast?
I'm sorry. I'm gone like the wind kind of.
I wanted to apologize for it. I apologize if the background noise or the echoing is too much for you. We're gonna figure it out. It's only me. As far as this technical side goes, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm trying. I love you guys. Episode 25. When can they expect? You want to do one next week?
We can. And
same time, maybe, possibly?
Probably. And who knows, we might have a guest with us.
Yeah, we started to get a guest this week, but unfortunately she couldn't make it. We still need to get our first female on the podcast. I can't believe we never had one yet, but yeah, we need to do that soon.
Don't worry your mind, I got it covered.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm Tyler. Duh.
That's toxic tea for you. But love you guys. Until next time.